Welcome to another beautiful episode of Follow Your Canadian Dream. On this beautiful occasion, we'll be talking about Saskatchewan PNP. All you need to know about this draw. And why is it important? Why are people clamoring to come there? Well, we want to state that the Saskatchewan Immigration Nominee Program was launched back in 1998, and the SINP is designed to help address the economic and labor shortage through the immigration to that particular province. So what it means is this: the federal government, the government of Canada through IRCC, conduct their own immigration pathways, bringing people into the country with their predetermined qualifications and requirements that people need to meet. On the other hand, they've given some provinces the leeway to actually embark on their own immigration program too. And once they deem it necessary for any particular niche or trade that is short in that province, they go outside and get people, invite them to come into the province and apply as permanent residents. So the first thing you need to do for the provincial nominee program, with special reference to Saskatchewan as we are talking about now, is first and foremost to complete an expression of interest for that province. But once that is done, the big question that people always ask me is, when will be the next draw for the Saskatchewan SINP? Well, one thing we know about the Saskatchewan NIP draws is that the government of that province conducts the draw on a bi-monthly basis at the very minimum. The frequency, the size, and the dates that each draws will be made are only determined by the needs of the SINP application inventory. So what that basically means is that they take stock with respect to the particular trades that are short in the province, that are needed, required, as the case may be, and they say, okay, for this week or this month, we need this class of people to come into the province. And then they go and do the draws. Now, one thing is, when is it? The truth is that they do not tell beforehand when the draw is done. You only wake up the next morning and you are told that a draw has been conducted and this class, these trades, and these particular scores have been selected. And one thing is this about the selection process, because sometimes of the 110 points that you are required to get, the least mark you are expected is 60 actually. So, but some people have from 60, 65, 70, and sometimes 80 if you have a relative, 85 if you have a relation that lives in Saskatchewan province. You might have actually score 65. If, let's say, the draw is from 65 and above, you can actually score 65 and still not be called. Now, the question is why? Because on each particular draw, they set or they determine that we are looking for these classes of people from this score upward. So let's say for a draw today, they might be looking for heavy duty mechanic. They might be looking for farm supervisor. They might be looking for tailors. On this draw, they are not looking for radiologists. They are not looking for a manager who actually scored 64. Who actually scored 65. So if somebody, a manager on the pool has 65, that manager will not be called. So it is done on a case-by-case study. So whatever trades that they are calling, we don't know. They set it. They actually do the draws. They come up with the cutoff points, and on that, and the next day, it is published that this skill set, this skill trade with this number have been called. And if you are called, you are actually given, you are issued an ITA, which simply means an invitation to apply. The success of the SINP cannot be overemphasized. It has been hugely successful since its inception. For every 10 newcomers that come into Saskatchewan, 7 of them come through the SNIP. That is huge. It is fair to say that Saskatchewan PNP program is one of the easiest in the country. So other provinces actually make it so, I call it difficult, but for Saskatchewan, it is easy. You can get it very easy. When I say very easy, it is not that you just wake up and get it. You still need to put on the work, get your qualification done, your accredit that is assessed, pass your language test, and get your proof of fund ready. As you know, Saskatchewan is the food basket of Canada. So many things grown here, even in the relatively short period of time of summer and spring. But most people who come here actually choose to stay, despite the fact that people want to discourage them that it is very cold. Sure, it is cold, but you can always adapt. People are living here, and people will continue to live here. Saskatchewan is a popular destination for immigrants, and the provincial government offer quick and easy immigration pathways to study, to work, and to settle in the province. At present, if you want to immigrate to Saskatchewan, you have 4 different options to choose from. The very first one is international skilled workers categories. There you have your skill on demand, which is the skill shortage. You also have the talent pool. You also have critical, that is hard to fill. You have healthcare for healthcare professionals. These are for people like doctors, nurses, and other healthcare practitioners that want to come here. You go through that route. You have the Saskatchewan experience categories for those who probably came in as with work permit and temporary work permit, and they have been here. They can use that Saskatchewan experience categories. You have entrepreneur and farm categories. This is actually for businessmen who are willing to invest and stay in Saskatchewan. And the farm category, again, you'll be willing to come own a farm and stay here in Saskatchewan. And the last route is international graduate and entrepreneur categories. Well, these 4 routes, they are key in getting so many people coming into Saskatchewan. And the very first step you want to take is to check which of these routes or category you are eligible for. That is the very first thing you want to do. And once you've done that, you will need to check your application process for that particular category. What is it demanding of you? What is it that you need to show? And in virtually all the cases, not all, you will need to submit an expression of interest. Yeah, I have actually, in my previous video, I have talked about the expression, how you can actually submit an expression of interest. You will need to do that and calculate your points. And then once you are nominated by the province, you will be given an ITA and a nomination certificate for you now to go ahead to apply for permanent residence. And that is one key fact why SNIP or PNP sometimes takes time. It is 2 times the process of the federal government, because the province first of all nominates you, which is also time consuming, and then you will now be sent to the federal level, which is the second stage of the process. If you found value so far, just subscribe and share the video to people. If you are not in tune with it for now, share it to others who might be interested in following their Canadian dream. If you have comments, leave it, or question, leave it in the question section, and I will be sure to answer them. And I will see you in the next video.